What is happening, resistors? This is Resistance Radio, Radio Free America, bringing you the truth, straight from the heart of America's current fascist regime. Want to hear some news? No? Well, too bad, because that's all I got. Just this week, the U.S. House, in a sweeping majority, voted to crush free speech and condemn any kind of boycott of Benjamin Netanyahu's despotic government in Israel and any actions taken by Jerusalem. Remember that good old Bibi is good friends with our supreme leader, so naturally the majority of Republicans carried this one across the finish line. Among them, progressive darling Tulsi conversion therapy is cool gabbard. My boy Kyle Kalinsky over at Secular Talk has the scoop. We'll meet up after this.
So this week, there was a vote on House Resolution 246. The bill is, and I quote here, opposing efforts to delegitimize the state of Israel and the global boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement targeting Israel. So the whole point of this resolution is to have the U.S. government officially state, we oppose BDS. We are condemning BDS. That's the whole point of this. Now, the original version of it had some teeth, okay? And the teeth were like, no, let's support efforts by the states to basically withhold any and all government contracts and money from people who support a boycott of Israel. So, in other words, it was a very, very, very clear example of an unconstitutional approach to this issue. Because they are literally saying we are going to target political speech that we don't like in a material and substantive way. Now, thankfully, there's been at least 2, maybe even 3 separate court decisions that have said in no uncertain terms, this isn't even close to legal. This is completely unconstitutional. The government, whether it's the state government or the federal government, cannot target people for political speech. We live in a free society. People could boycott whoever the hell they want to boycott, and they shouldn't have to fear retribution by the U.S. government or their respective state governments. So that was the older resolutions, okay? Now it's gotten to the point where it appears like AIPAC, who's one of the groups that's pushing this, AIPAC and a lot of the, far right-wing, super pro-Israeli politicians, they've realized, okay, we can't be that bold with it, that brazen with it. We have to reel it in a little bit. Because, Andrew Cuomo, who backs a lot of these anti-BDS bills and tried to, I think, implemented one in New York, he hilariously called for a boycott of, I think it was Indiana, or it may have been another Republican state, but because a right-wing state did a piece of anti-LGBTQ legislation, he urged New Yorkers, hey, don't go there. We're boycotting that state. So according to Andrew Cuomo, in the United States of America, you have every right to boycott the United States of America, another state in the United States of America, but you shouldn't be allowed to boycott Israel. You want to talk about absurd favoritism, and you want to talk about an obvious illegal and unconstitutional crackdown on freedom of speech and the First Amendment. Well, there it is right there. So, since, these politicians realized we can't go that far because that's obviously unconstitutional, well, what are we going to do? And somebody came up with the brilliant idea of, what if we say, well, we oppose BDS and we oppose all attempts to delegitimize the state of Israel. What if we did that, but we also made clear in the same resolution, like, oh yeah, by the way, you're still legally allowed and constitutionally allowed to, have free speech and boycott whoever you want to boycott. All we're saying is the U.S. government is, in this weaselly-ass resolution, that we officially condemn and we oppose any efforts to delegitimize the state of Israel and any support of BDS. And also, of course, in the same resolution, because it's the whole point of the resolution, there's an attempt to conflate good faith criticism of Israel and support of BDS with, say it with me, anti-Semitism. That's the whole point of this. So that, the Republicans can turn around and say, well, look at these. Who didn't support this resolution? Look at these anti-Semites. Can you believe that they hate all Jews? That's how this is going to be used. And if you're a Democrat and you supported this, and then at any point in the future, you say something maybe against illegal settlements, let's say, they're going to turn around and they're going to accuse you of being a hypocrite. They're going to say, well, look at your position on the BDS resolution. You agreed that it's anti-Semitic to criticize Israel and to criticize the settlements and try to take action. And now you're criticizing the settlements? Well, I mean, you're either a hypocrite or an anti-Semite also now, aren't you? Again, AIPAC is behind this. They're pushing it. And I hope you're sitting down. I'm going to tell you who the people were, the brave people who opposed this resolution, okay? Blumenauer, Carson, Dingell, Garcia, Grijalva, Jayapal, Barbara Lee, Massey, McCollum, Moore, Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Pingree, Pocan, Rush, Tlaib, Watson, Coleman. Those are the only Congresspeople who said, you know what? No, we're not playing this game. It's not the job or the business of the U.S. government to, I officially condemn and I'm against the boycotts in this instance. Bad. I oppose it. I condemn it. What business is it of the U.S. government what free citizens do in a free society and who they choose to boycott and what they want to do? I'll answer that for you. None. And I would argue that's also unconstitutional. Because they are saying we officially condemn this political viewpoint, this specific political viewpoint. Fuck out of here with that nonsense. What a joke. So I told you, everybody, these are the people who, oppose this terrible resolution. So thank you to all those people who oppose this resolution. Some of the people, by the way, again, 398 to 17 was the vote. So only 17 did the right thing. The people who did the wrong thing include Katie Porter, who's supposed to be a lovely progressive, Ayanna Pressley, Ro Khanna, and Tulsi Gabbard. That's embarrassing.
Let me start off with a little disclaimer. No, I don't think this one vote should define an entire congressperson's career. As Kalinsky notes, strong progressives like Khanna and Pressley also voted for the motion. Nevertheless, there are two caveats to this. One, Khanna and Pressley have both taken to social media in an effort to at least try and clarify their vote. What has Tulsi given us since then? Diddly dick, children. Diddly dick. 2. Khanna, Pressley, and the others all have records of opposing imperialism, particularly that of Israel. Tulsi has made her position quite clear. She's a staunch Zionist and supporter of Bibi. It was spring 2015. Bibi strong-armed his way into addressing Congress without an invitation from the president. Many Democrats, including notably Joe Biden and Beto O'Rourke, commonly associated with the mainstream wing of the Democratic Party, love them or hate them, joined the most progressive members of both bodies in boycotting the address. Not only did Tulsi attend, children, she slammed her colleagues for their absence and praised Bibi, commenting, "The United States' relationship with Israel must rise above the political fray, as America continues to stand with Israel as her strongest ally." For those of you wondering why one might take issue with Israel or Bibi, let me educate you on a few things that most people won't tell you. Israel has been caught dropping white phosphorus, a cruel and unusual weapon known for burning through skin like napalm, on Palestinian civilians. illegal settlements built on clearly designated Palestinian land are cropping up by the day. And if neither of those little tidbits shocked you enough, it was recently uncovered that Israel is giving big pharmaceutical companies permission to experiment on specifically Arab prisoners. Something I believe Adolf Hitler favored subjecting the Jews to during the Holocaust. Opposing Israel has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. Jewish celebrities like Natalie Portman prove that with their unrelenting criticism of Jerusalem's actions, that ethnicity does not matter. Congress knows this well. Make no mistake, children. This is about crushing free speech in an effort to appease a trade and military ally, not ending any form of racism, as is evident by the horde of nativist Republicans who supported this resolution. What I find most laughable is seeing Tulsi's attack dogs groveling to try and make some sort of excuse for not only her vote, but her lack of a reason for said vote. By the way, these same clowns will disparage actual progressives like AOC, who, by the way, voted against this legislation, along with Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, so God bless them. To me, this is the final nail in the coffin for Tulsi's disaster of a presidential campaign. She has shown us her true colors, and proven that a whole lot of lip service does not a progressive hero make. Thanks for listening, children. This is Resistance Radio, Radio Free America, bringing you the truth, straight from the heart of America's current fascist regime.